I had someone in one of my comments yesterday ask for an update on the fig cuttings to see how they're going, and I replied that I would do an update in about a week to 10 days when there would be more interesting things happening. It's only been about 3 weeks since these three have gone in the ground as a cutting. That's only been about 10 or 11 days, maybe 12 days since these ones have gone in. Now typically it takes around 3 to 5 weeks to start to see really good root development through these clear plastic cups, but as of around week 2 to 3, the fig cuttings will have actually started to do some interesting things. So I thought I might put together a really quick video just showing the very earliest signs that your fig cuttings are actually working. And usually the very earliest sign, if I can get this to focus, is these little buds appearing along your fig cutting. So these have been in the ground 11 days or so, and you can see that a number of them have started to put on new green buds. Now, fig cuttings can put on buds without forming roots, and they can form roots without forming buds, at least initially. Obviously eventually both will happen, but in the initial stages you can get this cutting here, for instance, that has two nice buds on it and a bud at the top that's forming really nicely. You can have this plant growing with no roots forming at all, and if you have a look through the cup, and I won't pick it up just because I don't want to knock them all over, there is no roots visible on any of these cuttings here, but about half have buds forming, showing that the plants are really starting to take these cuttings. There's probably very small roots forming on these plants here. Now on the more established plants, the figs that have been in the ground about 3 weeks, these two don't have any buds and they don't have any roots visible. Doesn't mean nothing's happening. These are in dark pots. If they're in a clear plastic cup, we might actually see that there's a number of roots that have come through and are already touching the side of the cup, and these plants are developing roots before they do leaves. Here though is an example of one of the ones that I put in the ground 3 weeks ago. You can see that it has a nice bud growing on it. Got a couple of aphids on there by the looks of it, which I'll spray in a moment. And if you take it out of the ground, you'll be able to see that the first root has come out of the base of the pot. So this is a 3-week-old cutting that has both roots and buds. This is a Violet de Bordeaux. And you'll find that in the next 7 to 10 days, I think when I come back and do an update on this, all of these plants will be significantly more advanced than they are now, and we will have a good proportion of these cuttings over here with visible roots through the side, and probably we'll have leaves on a number of these plants. So little tiny leaves, but leaves nonetheless, in about 7 to 10 days. So I'll come back and do an update on all of those then. I've used this method to root fig cuttings now for years, and I've had just about 100% success rooting cuttings using this method. I find that it works almost every single time, but as I did say in that kind of video where I outlined how I actually do my fig cuttings are extremely easy to take, and you can basically just stick a stick in the ground and have a really good expectation that they will probably grow, maybe not to the same 99 to 100% success rate that I have, but probably 75-80% rate. Anyway guys, that's a very quick update on the fig cuttings. Not much happening, little bit of budding, some small roots may be developing, and we'll see you back in 7 to 10 days.